I've spent time during the last couple months trying to film most times when I'm cracking an egg. I didn't catch all of my double yolks or all of my egg cracking, but I hope you are watching this. You can see from this footage that there's different shaped eggs, that the yolks are different sizes, that the shells are a little bit irregular. So I want you to look for all these things, and as the video goes along, by the end you'll see that the yolk size, the amount of whites around the yolk, the shells are a lot more consistent by the end of the film. Do you want to know more about double yolk eggs and other irregularities in newly laying hens? So when your newly laying hens first start to lay their eggs, you're going to notice variances in colors, in shapes, in sizes, and you might even get a double yolker or triple yolker egg. And this is all normal and expected when you've got hens that have just reached maturity. So their bodies are still figuring things out as they settle into their new egg laying routine. So some of the things I've noticed when we've had newly laying hens are 3 irregularities. One would be the shape. Some of the egg sizes can be as small as my thumb. Other ones can be like extra large. Some of the shells are even like a bit wobbly. They're not like quite, that perfect egg shape. And then color is another one. They can range from like white to like different shades of brown and different patterns of speckling. And once your hens settle into their regular laying, you'll notice like a consistent color or a consistent speckling. But that's all at the moment kind of like changing a lot. And then finally, you might be lucky and get some double yolkers, some triple yolkers. We've only had these with newly laying hens. I've never had a double yolk or a triple yolk from an older hen. What's your experience been with newly laying hens? How many double yolks have you ever had? I'm going to show some footage here of me cracking eggs in the kitchen while I'm cooking. I'm doing it with one hand, and I've never needed to crack eggs with one hand until I've had children. So I've got a kid in one arm cracking one egg. But in this case, I'm holding the phone and cracking an egg. So enjoy my attempts at doing it. I think I got better as I got along. Did get some shells in the pan, had to scrape those out. I always find that after a few months, my newly laid hens will then start laying their eggs regularly. Now, if you're interested in knowing a bit more about this common food that we eat, I'll share with you a bit of what I've learned from reading about hens and egg laying. So when a hen is born, she already has all the yolks that she'll ever lay already in her body. And she's on a cycle of releasing these yolks every like 25 to 27 hours. She'll release that yolk, and then the yolk, as it travels, the white part of the egg will then form around that, and only just before she lays the egg will the shell form, and that will form around the white and the yolk as we know it. Then she'll lay it. And believe it or not, like within like an hour of her laying that egg, her new cycle begins all over again, and she'll start creating the next egg. So when you get, let's say, a double yolk or a triple yolker, this is when like 2 yolks, 3 yolks are released around a similar time, and then the whites and the shell form around both those parts, or those 3 parts, the 3 yolks, and then she'll lay your double or triple. It's completely fine to eat them. They taste the same. I sometimes find that either the double yolk, the 2 yolks are either like smaller than one, like this, like together added up would be like the same size as a big yolk sometimes. But then sometimes I find the double yolks each on their own are just as big as a single yolk egg. So I don't know what your experience has been with what you have found. I've never had an older hen lay a double or triple yolk egg. We've never had that yet, and I hear that's rare. When I was looking into double yolks, I found there was a company, an egg supplier in the U.S., and they will sell you like a carton of double yolked eggs, which I thought was really interesting. So what they do is from their newly laying hens, which would be the more, the best chance of finding them, they will hand candle the eggs and then look in the contents and see if there's a double yolk. Then they'll place them aside, and they'll sell them, for a premium product. So there you have it. So they're definitely safe to eat. Egg candling is when you're in a darkened room and you put a light to behind the egg, under the egg, and then you can see the contents inside of it. So it's used for different reasons, but it's another way to find out as well if you've got extra yolks in your egg. We've currently got 3 Warren hens that are our new layers, and for their breed, what I'm expecting is that they're going to start laying like medium to large sized eggs that are brown, and they're going to be laying about 300 a year. So once they start doing what I'm expecting of the breed, that's when I'll call it and be like, okay, they've settled into their laying routine. This is what I'm expecting with color and size and regular laying. We're also heading up to the autumn. We're in late autumn now, winter coming around the corner, so their egg laying will probably slow down. The older ones will slow down quicker than the newer ones in terms of their egg laying. That's all I have for now about egg irregularities with newly laid hens. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.